Hey guys, this is Mag from the Rainforest Exhibit, and welcome back to another vlog. This time we're talking about driftwood, and man, do I have a lot of driftwood. Thanks to Life is Beautiful Unique Etsy store run by Amy Chambers. They were kind enough to give me a ton of driftwood, enough for probably 3 the Rainforest exhibits, but we definitely have a large variety to choose from, and we're going to be picking the best pieces that will fit, look good, and we'll make it look as realistic as possible. Anyways, I have the first piece up here right now. This is a tree stump, which is really large. It's a good foot and a half across, probably about 1.5 feet tall. It's about 1 foot wide. It's really cool. I'm going to use that piece. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep switching out pieces. I'm going to take this one, probably stop rolling, put another one up, and we'll go from there. And I'll put the best pieces up. I won't put every piece up. We'll be here all day. I've got about 100 pieces. So, and yeah, they gave me a lot. So I'm going to put up my favorite ones that I like. I might put up a few they'll go in the quarantine tanks that we're also getting from Custom Aquariums. Thanks, Ted, Bob, Adam, everybody over there, Mark, Beavers, everybody over there for hooking us up again. And those tanks will be coming within the next couple of weeks, and we're going to have a couple quarantine tanks set up. So for anything that's any of live animals that are going to be going into the Rainforest exhibit, that will know that their health is perfect, and we won't put anything in there that's going to bring any parasites or diseases and hurt anybody else in there. So we're going to do this right, and that's how we're going to start with quarantine tanks. So we have wood for that, quarantine tanks. If I even put any in there at the beginning, we'll see. But we definitely have some great stuff for the Rainforest exhibit. First piece right there is that tree stump. That is going to go along with, and magic of, here's a tree trunk. This thing is gorgeous. I'm going to actually pick it up and bring it closer to the camera. So you can see this is about probably 3.5 feet long. Hollow inside. But look at this cut. Wow. Is that wild? I can see this going right across the tank with the Rainforest exhibit, with bromeliads going out and soil inside with moss growing in it. Can you imagine? And then imagine having frogs actually climb inside and going across it like a bridge. This thing is amazing. I love that. That's a definite finding a place for it. And now this piece, I love this piece. I'm going to have an issue with hiding the intake for the sump filter, which has to be in the front of the exhibit, and I'll show you that later on. The partition that I have cutting down almost the center of the tank, where the stream will be in the front of it, and then the land area behind it. So all that water is not just sitting there in the land area not doing anything. I put the partition there so any water there can be easily filtered, and it's not just sitting under a pile of earth getting funky. So, but with that comes a problem with the inlet for the sump. Now, I have the Custom Aquariums H2 Overflow, which I am dying to use without modifying in any way. And I'll show you that. That's this right here. And I'm trying to figure a way it'll be behind there and not really be that visible. But you can see it's really cool. And it put a lot of area to bring in the stream water to go into the sump. But with this comes an issue of hiding it. So with this piece, I might be able to do that. And I'll show you, let me bring it close to the camera so you can see why I like this so much. First of all, it's got this big, huge opening so that we can put plants inside, actually raise it up, the soils, and have moss grow in it. It's got this piece here that I can lean against something, and you can see it's like a perfectly made handle for it. And inside it's pretty cavernous. If you have this tilted towards the side, there's a lot of area back here to hide things with. So I really love this piece. And let's see, without dropping it. So that's definitely going to be number 3 that I'm definitely going to use. I will find a spot for that one. So here, let's move on. Now here's a piece that I didn't know she had, that she brought without telling me about it, but I really like it. It's another log, a hollow log. It could be used like a water bridge, a land bridge, maybe even something where you link it. It detours the waterfall off a little bit to, like it fell over and now the water's spraying from another spot, something like that. I was thinking about it. Something maybe like that, standing up. It's got a leg on it, almost like a. I mean, look, it's it's like a planter, actually. Wow, that is really cool looking. I really like that piece. Tell me what you think of that one. I like it. I don't know what to call it. Call it like the hollow log number 2 or the hollow log planter, maybe something like that. We'll call it like that. That name, and see if. Tell me what you guys think of it. Let me bring it closer to the camera so you can really take a good look at it. It's really neat looking. Isn't that crazy? So cool looking. All right, let's keep looking. Okay, now here's another tree trunk piece. I could kind of do away with this part right here. I think maybe cutting that off. I think it's going to get in the way. But it might be because I don't think I want to have it that deep, because I would have to cover that with soil. But it would be good on a hill or like in a mud wall. I don't know. But I like that. That's one of the original pieces that I knew she was sending, and I knew I really wanted this one. But she's given me so many other pieces now that I really, it's making the decision real hard to decide what I'm going to use. But I like this piece. I'm going to flip it around for you guys. Tell me what you think. Look at that. That's kind of neat right there, isn't it? Oh, man. Wouldn't it be cool, a plant coming out of the bottom of that? Or from the inside? That would be pretty neat. Gosh, I like this piece. I don't know. Let's see what we'll have to think about that. That's something I'm going to put aside. This is a 50-50, and well, more than that, I'll say a 60-40. Although I'm looking in the enclosure right now, and I'm running out of room for all the pieces I said is definitely going in there. It looks like I'm starting to run out of room, and we'll definitely have to do something about that. But so far, I like this piece. Tell me what you guys think. This is tree trunk number 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is tree trunk number 4, I think. So keep that in mind. All right, now here's another tree branch. Kind of a tree trunk. I don't know. This is more maybe a bridge or something I could lay flat, maybe against the back wall, all the way on the top, half buried. I don't know. But this is a pretty cool looking thing. A piece of driftwood here too. Also, if I laid it on its side this way, that would be a cool planter right there. Yeah, that would be cool, but then I would have to cut it, and I would feel guilty cutting it, but I might have to. Anyways, I like this piece too. Again, this is an iffy piece. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but it's definitely, it has character, and it looks cool. I propped it up in this Converse box. There's the other side. Give it another look that way. That's pretty neat. And look at that. It's beautiful, actually. Wow. I don't know. All right, well, that's another iffy piece. All right, now we're getting into the pieces that, until you see what I'm doing with it, I'm behind the camera here, by the way. Until you see what I'm doing with it, you might not get an idea, can't picture in your head, but we're getting at pieces that are going to be in the ground on this side and then jutting up, like just in air. The only issue with this one is that if you look here, this part here and this part here, it looks like it was cut, which is not natural. So I would have to do something, either plant something on the edge of it or break it so it would look like it was more natural, or plant it upside down. I don't know. Maybe I could use it for a root system. I don't know. But I really like this piece. It looks really cool. And I think if that part was in the ground and this was jutting up, you know, like that, all those arms would look cool with plants all over it, right? It would look really neat. But here, let me show you a different angle. You know, like if that was planted up and this was up in the air, but see what I'm saying? See how that's cut in this one? You can definitely see that was cut with something automated, which we're gonna have to fix. But I really like this piece. Look at that bottom there. Let's turn it this way, give you a different look at it. Isn't that neat? I don't want to cut it or break it up. I like it the way it is, so I'm going to figure a way that I can use that. But now we're getting into all the pieces that these aren't really like on the base, like all the tree trunks and that one piece that's going to be covering the sump filtration intake. We're getting into pieces that now can be planted part in the ground and part jutting up in the air. So like getting different levels other than the ground. So that's one of them. And let me show you some more. All right, now we're getting into the part I said, like I just said previously, of pieces that I want to plant with this back end in the ground, with these pieces all shooting up in the air in different ways. So like if you're looking at the front of the exhibit, let's say the front of the exhibit's here, that you're looking, these pieces are like right in your face, you know, like that, with plants on it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but you can see these are really long. These are about that's about 36, maybe 40 inches long. But these aren't connected. I actually just stuck that in there. That's a very light piece, this piece here. This is a separate piece, and the one behind it is actually, if you barely see it in between there, that's its own piece as well. I'll take it apart so you can see what I mean. But I'm thinking of putting them together somehow so they seem like they're one piece. These two, see, there's that one, very, very light. This doesn't even weigh anything. I'm really surprised. So it's really good for putting someplace high, and I don't have to worry about the weight. And this piece, oh man, look at that. See, like if this was in the land area and it was jutting out to the front with all plants all over this. Can't really tell by the camera if you can see what I mean, but. And then here's another piece. This is a little more drifty, woody, if that's even a word. But I mean, well, it's not a word. But anyways, this seems more like it's windswept, so I don't know if it's, you can see such a big difference. I might not be able to use this other than maybe in the water in the stream, but I don't know. I put it there just to show you what I mean by these long pieces. So, you know what? I'm going to take this out of here. This is not going to be part of it, but these two will definitely are definitely ones I'm looking at for that, to give that in your face type of idea. And basically, so these would be stuck in the land area, and then like this, you know. I don't know if you get the idea of it. See? All right. So now we're getting into ground pieces, a lot of roots, things where I'm gonna have to figure out just a place. I have a real huge piece that I was gonna use, but Amy from the Etsy store didn't give it to me. This is one I found in the backyard before I even was thinking I was doing anything like this. It's really big. I'll have to show it to you, but I probably won't be able to use it now. All right, now these are the pieces that I'm looking at for roots, like parts that would come out of a mud wall, since we're going to have some vertical areas going up like this and land, then another vertical area with like mud wall in between, like a layer cake, if you can imagine it. So obviously there's going to be tree trunks on top of these areas, so coming out will be like the roots, like it was eroded. We're going to have something, if you can imagine that this right here is the exhibit. All what I'm talking about is going to happen mostly on this side because I have something special planned for this side, and you'll see that soon. If we're looking at the exhibit, which we're not. So this, just to give you an idea. Now I totally confused you. Forget I said anything. Anyways, so these are all pieces that I'm going to use for the roots as root systems, and I'm going to show you each individually. So we have, let's see which one I just put it. This piece, again, this is cracked here, but I really like that. So if I had to, I could cut pieces off and just use a little bit of this, like part in the wall, part out, or part of it coming into the mud here, and it's just only this little piece is sticking out of the wall. So that's definitely something to consider with that piece. We have another root system. I really like this. I'm going to try not to break that off. If I do, well. But again, another piece that I might cut pieces, have to trim it up and use just portions of it. Oh, here's a piece that I didn't show earlier. Here's another, like a root that I could use. This one is really cool. Here, let me see if I can see if it's in the camera. Yeah, see, this is like perfect root system. So I'm definitely going to try to take care of this, not to break that up, because I want to see if I can use it whole. I don't see any like weird cuts, like with a machine. So all of this could have easily happened in nature. But isn't that neat? Then we have this one here, another one with roots. I could definitely, this I don't have any problems if I just want this one piece or that piece, just to stick out of the wall like it's coming out of the mud wall, and have maybe one little bromeliad, maybe a baby, something small. Very tiny Nuriet. I don't even know the freaking name. I still can't pronounce it. Neoregalia. Something like that. Anyway. God, that was stupid. Okay. Anyways, so here's another piece I could use for roots. Cut it into pieces, just use portions of it, but I like that piece too. Another piece, obviously I can use that, but some of these pieces for a root system. Isn't that neat? I love the way that looks. Check that out. I don't know why this is in there, but I don't know, maybe in the water. I don't know. And here's another piece. Perfect. Look at the character on that. Even just a small piece just laying there in the dirt. I love this piece. Like that. Gosh, it almost looks like an animal. Look at that. Look how it just sits there. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. There's a rail there. It kind of just sits just like that. It's really cool. So we'll leave that there for now. And all right, so here's some more pieces. These are little pieces. In fact, there's more on the ground here. Oh, those are roots falling. I'm going to add these two here. This is one I actually found. All right, don't mock me. Anyway. But there's some extra little pieces just to scatter on the floor. But I'm going to show you a couple of them I really like. I actually love the character of this piece right here. This one, the big one in the back. Look at that. That's one piece. It's, I'll bring it close to the camera. It's so cool looking. Look how that like sweeps up. Is that crazy? Man. Sculpted stuff. Here, let's see. Let me turn the camera so I can see it. Look at that piece, how neat that is. Look at the spaces. See my hand behind it? Like vents. Ooh, that would be cool. Ooh, I got an idea for that. I just thought of something. Dee-dee-dee. It'd be a great cover for a fan. Now look at this little log. Is that wild? I love that. I would just probably just use it like that. I wouldn't do anything to it and just see what happens. Maybe throw some dirt in it, see if something grows out of it. Really like that piece. That's a great piece. And then we just have different ones, just like the other one. All the ridges on it. Here's the one I found. I kind of like this. I found that at Fires Creek. I baked it for a while. Had moss all over it. I felt kind of guilty knocking off the moss, but what am I gonna do? Here's a little piece. Another cool piece. Almost hard as wood. Look at the ridges. Isn't that cool? Here's another piece. You can actually see behind it. It's like spaces. And this one, it's like a shelf. Isn't that wild? That would make a great, like something maybe half buried, sticking up. I don't know. All the little holes in it. Looks like a woodpecker was getting it maybe. No, that was growing like that. I don't know how that would happen. Maybe water. Let's see. The production value. Anyway, this one's kind of neat looking in different ways, very light. So I could put this anywhere, not worry about it. And then this piece here, also another very light piece, just to put somewhere. Now I've got more pieces that that are like, I don't even know. Down here, I don't know if I would use them. I'll just lift them up real. Although that's kind of neat, but see the cut on it? Maybe just sticking up out of the ground. This has a lot of mud on it and dirty. I haven't even cleaned it. Oh gosh, what the heck is that? I think that it's like a male. I don't know. Anyway, so that is really weird looking. It's like really moldy. I don't even know if I'm gonna use that one. But boy, that's weird looking, right? Eek. I better go wash my hands after that one. And then here's another piece. I kind of like that. Looks neat. And there's more pieces on the floor. Another just scrap piece, just for looks. And there's a few more. They have that real big one. I'm going to try to pick it up right now. And you can see this is what I found before I even thought I was doing this. This got it. I don't know how much this weighs, but look how wild that is. Is that crazy? I was thinking of using it something like that, like for like a level. You know, like from ground level, like the ground goes up to the bottom and up, and then ground on top of it. You know, like that. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways,